You can work 16-hour days, hustle until you're burnt out, and chase success like it's a race. But here's the truth. If you're not working on yourself first, success will always stay just out of reach. What if the secret to success isn't working harder, but becoming someone who attracts it effortlessly? What if, right now, you could stop chasing and start attracting? By the end of this, your mindset will never be the same. The most powerful thing you can ever do is transform yourself. You've heard it before. Success doesn't come from luck. It comes from change. But let me ask you, how deeply have you embraced this truth? Most people think success is about external circumstances, about timing, about the right connections, or about having the right breaks. But the real key to success isn't about the world around you. It's about the person you become. The person you are right now isn't the person who will achieve your biggest dreams. To truly transform your life, you must first transform yourself. Think about someone like Tony Robbins himself. He didn't start out as the powerhouse speaker, the leader, the force that inspires millions. He started as a guy with very little, no money, no opportunities, and no confidence. But he made a decision. He decided that he was going to change, and nothing would stop him. He worked relentlessly on his mindset, his discipline, his energy. He redefined who he was, and that transformation didn't just change his life. It changed the lives of millions around the world. This is where it all begins, with a decision. You can spend your entire life waiting for the world to change around you. You can spend your days blaming circumstances, waiting for the right time, or hoping that someone else will help you along the way. Or you can decide to take control of your life right now. You can decide that no matter where you start, you will transform. Because transformation isn't about waiting for things to change. It's about changing yourself in order to make things happen. There's a powerful principle in psychology called neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself and form new neural connections throughout your life. What does this mean for you? It means that you can literally rewire your brain. You can change the way you think, the way you behave, and the way you perceive the world. And when you change those things, everything around you begins to shift. If you believe you're not capable of something, it's simply because you've trained your brain to believe that. But guess what? You can train it to believe something else. You can train it to believe that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you are unstoppable. Let me give you another example. J.K. Rowling. Before the world knew her name, she was just another struggling single mother, battling depression, poverty, and rejection. In fact, she was rejected by 12 different publishers before one finally took a chance on Harry Potter. At the time, she could have easily accepted defeat. She could have given up, but she didn't. She made the decision to transform her life. She chose to believe in herself when no one else did. She decided that no matter how many times she fell, she would keep getting back up. Her transformation was a process, and it wasn't easy, but it was necessary. Today, she's one of the most successful authors in history. You don't have to be a billionaire or a best-selling author to change your life. But you do need to believe that you can. And it starts with transforming your mindset. If you're constantly telling yourself you're not enough, that you can't do it, that you don't have what it takes, guess what? That will become your reality. But if you tell yourself every single day that you are becoming better, that you are worthy of success, and that you are willing to put in the work, your mind will start to believe it. The beauty of self-transformation is that it's available to everyone. It's not about having a special gift, a particular set of circumstances, or being born with extraordinary talent. It's about choosing to change, deciding to evolve, and committing to personal growth every single day. Transformation isn't a one-time event. It's a lifelong process. And the moment you decide to start is the moment your entire future begins to shift. So, right now, take a moment to reflect. What part of yourself are you ready to transform? Is it your mindset, your confidence, your ability to take risks? Whatever it is, make the decision today. Choose to change. Choose to become the person you need to be in order to achieve everything you want in life. And remember, the power to transform is already within you. All you have to do is unlock it. There's something powerful about the idea of attraction. When you truly understand it, it changes everything. Most people are out there chasing success, chasing opportunities, chasing relationships. But what if I told you that the secret to unlocking everything you want isn't in the chase? It's in the attraction. What if, right now, you could stop running and instead start attracting success into your life effortlessly? Look at people like Warren Buffett. He didn't chase wealth. He attracted it. How? By focusing on becoming the best version of himself in the world of investing. He didn't waste his energy on trying to find shortcuts or the next big trend. Instead, he focused on mastering his craft, on acquiring knowledge, and on building deep, long-term strategies. In doing so, opportunities began to find him. People sought him out and the wealth followed because he became someone who was aligned with success. He didn't chase it. It came to him. But here's the truth. Attraction isn't just about being talented or having connections. It's about who you become. When you change your inner world, your outer world changes with it. So many people are running, desperate for success, as if they need to prove something to the world. But the truth is, you don't need to chase success. You need to align yourself with it, and when you do, success will naturally gravitate toward you. Think about how this works in the context of relationships. How often have you seen people desperately trying to hold on to a relationship, chasing someone who doesn't feel the same way? It's painful to watch, and it's painful to be the person doing the chasing. When you constantly chase someone, you put yourself in a position of neediness. You're subconsciously telling them you don't feel worthy of love unless you can earn it. But here's the truth. When you stop chasing, when you start focusing on becoming the best version of yourself, independent, confident, and whole, that's when people start coming to you. It's when you become magnetic, attracting those who truly align with you. This principle applies to every area of life. Let's take your career, for instance. Too many people are stuck in the mindset that they have to grind, hustle, and fight for every opportunity. They send out resumes, apply to jobs, and network endlessly, thinking that if they work hard enough, the perfect job will appear. But here's the shift. Instead of chasing opportunities, focus on attracting them by becoming the kind of person who embodies what you're after. Be someone who is so good at what they do that the right opportunities come knocking. Make yourself irreplaceable in your craft, in your passion, and watch the world open up to you. It's all about aligning your energy with the right frequency. When you constantly chase after something, you're in a state of lack. You're telling the universe that you don't already have what you need. You're operating from fear of missing out, fear of not being good enough. But the moment you shift from chasing to attracting, you stop operating from a place of fear and start operating from a place of abundance. You're telling the universe that you are enough, that you are worthy, and that you are open to receiving. The law of attraction isn't just some mystical, magical concept. It's a mental shift. It's a shift in your mindset and how you show up every day. It's about releasing the desperate need for something to come to you and instead, trusting that the right things will come when you're aligned with your true purpose and vision. Let me tell you about a powerful example. And girls, she didn't chase fame. She didn't chase television shows or endorsements. She focused on being authentic, on serving others, on providing value. And as she did, she attracted the success that many others were desperately chasing. Oprah wasn't running after her next break. She became someone who could attract everything she wanted because she had the courage to focus on her own growth, her own authenticity, and her own purpose. The shift is simple but profound. Stop looking for success. Stop chasing people, opportunities, or validation. Instead, focus on becoming the person who is worthy of success. When you make this internal shift, the world will respond. Opportunities, people, and success will start coming to you. It's not about fighting for it. It's about becoming magnetic. Becoming the kind of person who draws in everything they desire. So ask yourself today, what would it look like if you stopped chasing and started attracting? What would it feel like to finally trust that the success you're seeking is already on its way? As soon as you align yourself with it, shift your energy, focus on growth, and watch as everything you've been chasing begins to come to you. The foundation of everything you want in life, your success, your happiness, your impact, is built on one thing: self-belief. If you don't believe in yourself, nothing else matters. It doesn't matter how hard you work, how many hours you put in, or how much you sacrifice. Without self-belief, the road to success is going to feel impossible. You might have the best strategies, the best resources, and the greatest opportunities, but if you don't believe deep down that you deserve success, or that you are capable of achieving it, you'll never get there. Think about someone like Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes in history. When she first started, she was an underdog. She wasn't part of the country club tennis world, and she didn't come from the typical background of tennis elites. But what set her apart? Her belief in herself. Her belief that she belonged at the top, even when no one else did. She faced countless doubters, critics, and obstacles, yet she persisted. Why? Because she believed that she had what it took to be the best. She believed that success was her destiny, and no amount of criticism or failure could change that. Self-belief is not just about wishing things will work out. It's about trusting yourself enough to take action, even when you don't know exactly how things will turn out. Look at someone like Elon Musk, a man who has risked everything, his time, his money, his reputation. On ventures like SpaceX and Tesla, he could have played it safe, but he didn't. He believed so deeply in his vision that even when the world doubted him, when his companies were on the brink of failure, he never gave up. His belief wasn't in the circumstances, but in the power of his own vision and his own ability to figure it out. Psychologically, self-belief is the cornerstone of resilience. It's what allows you to keep moving forward when you face setbacks. When you know deep down that you are capable, you can weather the storms. But when you don't believe in yourself, even the smallest obstacle can knock you off course. Your belief in your own worth and potential gives you the power to navigate through tough times and come out stronger on the other side. When you have self-belief, you stop seeing challenges as insurmountable obstacles and start seeing them as opportunities to prove to yourself how strong and capable you really are. I want you to think about this for a moment. What's the biggest dream you have for your life? Now, think about what's stopping you from achieving that dream. Is it fear of failure? Is it fear of rejection? Or is it the belief that you're just not capable? If your answer is yes, then know this. That doubt is the only thing standing between you and your goals. It doesn't matter if you're not where you want to be yet. It doesn't matter if you're just starting or if things seem overwhelming. The key is in believing that you can. You can learn, you can grow, and you can overcome whatever is in your path. That belief is what pushes you to take action, even when things seem impossible. That belief is what fuels your fire when others tell you no and life throws curveballs and when you feel like giving up. The truth is, everything you want in life starts with the belief that you're worthy of it. If you're struggling, if you feel stuck, it's likely because you've lost sight of your own power. You've let doubt take over. But you can change that today. The moment you choose to believe in yourself, to trust that you have everything you need within you, your life will begin to shift. Because self-belief isn't just a feeling, it's a decision. A decision to move forward despite fear. A decision to bet on yourself even when others doubt you. A decision to trust that you are worthy of everything you desire. So, let me ask you, what would your life look like if you believed in yourself fully? What would you do differently if you knew, without a doubt, that you could achieve everything you set your mind to? The most successful people in the world are not the ones who never fail. They're the ones who believe in themselves even when failure comes knocking. And that belief is the difference between staying stuck and reaching your highest potential. So, start today. Start with belief. Everything else will follow. The greatest investment you will ever make is not in property, stocks, or even in your business. It's in yourself. Far too many people spend their lives chasing external achievements, looking for that next promotion, that next big deal, or that perfect opportunity, all while neglecting the one thing that can truly transform everything in their life, themselves. What if I told you that by focusing on investing in your personal growth, you could unlock untapped potential and experience returns that go far beyond anything money could offer? Take someone like Bill Gates. Before he was the co-founder of Microsoft, before he was one of the wealthiest individuals in the world, Bill Gates made one decision that would change his life forever. He invested heavily in learning. He didn't wait for opportunities to come to him. He sought out knowledge, constantly expanded his understanding of technology, and immersed himself in what he loved. That commitment to learning is why, when the right opportunity arose, he was able to capitalize on it in a way that no one else could. The more you learn, the more you grow. And when you grow, everything else around you begins to change. Self-investment doesn't just mean picking up a new book or taking a course. It's a deep, intentional commitment to your mind, your body, and your spirit. It's choosing to put in the time and energy to develop the skills, the mindset, and the habits that will carry you toward your goals. Think of it as planting a seed. You can't rush the growth process, but you can ensure that you're watering it consistently, that you're nourishing the soil, and that you're giving it the attention it needs to bloom. Just like with any investment, the key is in the compounding effect. Every effort you make toward improving yourself compounds over time and builds the foundation for long-term success. But too many people get caught up in the immediate need for results. They want instant returns. They want to see the impact today. But personal growth isn't about overnight change. It's about consistent, incremental improvements that add up over time. The beauty of investing in yourself is that you don't just gain knowledge or skills. You become more resilient. You build confidence. You learn to handle setbacks. You begin to trust in your own abilities, knowing that you are your greatest asset. Consider the story of Oprah Winfrey. The story of Oprah Winfrey. Her path wasn't a straight line to success. She faced obstacles, setbacks, and countless people telling her that she wouldn't make it. But Oprah made a choice early on. She invested in herself. She poured energy into developing her communication skills, into understanding the needs of others, into improving her emotional intelligence. Every time she faced a setback, she learned from it. And the more she learned, the more success she attracted. Psychologically, self-investment is about creating a growth mindset. It's about shifting from a fixed mindset, where you believe that your abilities are limited, to a growth mindset, where you believe that with effort, learning, and dedication, you can improve at anything. This mindset is crucial because it directly impacts your resilience and your ability to keep going when things get tough. When you invest in yourself, you're not just adding knowledge or skills, you're changing the way you view challenges. Instead of seeing them as obstacles, you see them as opportunities to grow, to learn, and to evolve. The truth is, you are your most valuable asset. No amount of external success can replace the power you have within. And when you focus on investing in yourself, the returns are limitless. It's not just about financial success. It's about achieving fulfillment, reaching your potential, and living a life that is truly aligned with who you are and who you want to become. So ask yourself, what would your life look like if you made the decision to invest in yourself day in and day out? And doubt. What could you accomplish if you committed to becoming the best version of you? Remember this, the returns you get from investing in yourself are exponential. The more you put in, the more you'll get back. Not just in the form of success, but in the form of transformation. Your growth is the greatest investment you will ever make. And when you commit to it fully, the possibilities are truly unstoppable. The people you surround yourself with can either lift you up or hold you back. We often underestimate the profound impact that our environment has on our success. It's not just about the people you know. It's about the energy, the mindset, and the drive they bring into your life. The truth is, if you want to achieve greatness, you must surround yourself with greatness. The right people will challenge you, inspire you, and push you to become the best version of yourself. Look at someone like Steve Jobs. He didn't just surround himself with talented people. He surrounded himself with people who were visionaries. People who thought outside the box, who questioned the status quo, and who weren't afraid to challenge his ideas. Jobs wasn't afraid to put himself in uncomfortable situations where he was the one being pushed. In fact, he thrived on it. He knew that in order to achieve something extraordinary, he couldn't rely on a team that played it safe. He needed people who would stretch his thinking and help him see the world in new ways. That's how Apple was able to innovate and change the tech landscape forever. Jobs created a culture of greatness, and by surrounding himself with extraordinary people, he attracted greatness into his own life. This principle applies to all of us. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So ask yourself, who are the people you're surrounding yourself with? Are they supporting your dreams? Are they pushing you to think bigger, work harder, and aim higher? Or are they pulling you down, keeping you stuck in comfort and mediocrity? When you surround yourself with greatness, you begin to operate on a higher level. You see things differently. You think bigger. You think big. You believe more in your own potential because the people around you reflect that belief back at you. They challenge you to be better and hold you accountable when you fall short. They don't let you settle. They won't let you off the hook when you're not living up to your highest standard. This kind of environment is critical for growth. Without it, it's easy to stay stuck, to become complacent, and to stop striving for more. The truth is, most of us tend to surround ourselves with people who are at the same level, or maybe even below. where we want to be. Where we want to be. We hang out with people who share the same fears, the same doubts, and the same limiting beliefs. But this is where you have to make a decision. If you truly want to grow, you have to be willing to leave behind the comfort of familiarity and seek out people who will challenge you. This doesn't mean you should cut ties with everyone you know, but it does mean you need to find people who will elevate your mindset and push you to new heights. There's a powerful psychological principle called social influence. We are deeply influenced by the people around us, and this can either work for us or against us. If your circle is filled with negativity, self-doubt, and complacency, you will begin to mirror those behaviors. But if you surround yourself with people who are focused, who are driven, and who are hungry for success, that energy becomes contagious. It rubs off on you, and you begin to think and act like them. Your standards rise. Your belief in yourself rises. Take Oprah Winfrey, for example. She has surrounded herself with mentors, teachers, and people who are not just successful, but who are truly driven by purpose. She's created a circle that challenges her to think deeper, to live with intention, and to keep evolving. It's no surprise that she's been able to build a media empire and become one of the most influential people in the world. She didn't get there alone. She surrounded herself with greatness, and in doing so, attracted greatness. And doing so, attracted greatness. But let's bring this back to you. Who are the people you're allowing into your life? Are they encouraging you to play it safe? Or are they urging you to dream bigger? If you're constantly surrounded by mediocrity, you'll begin to mirror that energy. It's not about cutting people out of your life, but it's about becoming intentional with your circle. Seek out those who inspire you, who challenge you, and who are not afraid to push you to your highest potential. Surround yourself with people who make you uncomfortable, because comfort never led to greatness. You have the power to choose your environment. Choose wisely. Seek out greatness, and watch how your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. Your environment shapes who you become, and the people you surround yourself with will either accelerate your growth or stunt it. Choose greatness. Because when you surround yourself with extraordinary people, you unlock extraordinary potential in yourself. Failure. It's a word that many of us dread, a word that evokes feelings of shame, disappointment, and fear. We're conditioned to think that failure is the end of the road, that it means we're not good enough, that we're somehow unworthy of success. But here's the truth. Failure is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally. The moment you begin to view failure not as a setback, but as a stepping stone, everything changes. Failure is not a reflection of your ability. It's a sign of progress, growth, and learning. Let me take you back to the story of Thomas Edison. Edison is one of the greatest inventors in history, but his path to success wasn't a straight line. In fact, Edison failed thousands of times before he successfully invented the light bulb. At one point, he was asked how he felt about failing so many times, and his response was simple: "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison didn't see failure as a negative experience. He saw each failure as a valuable lesson, a necessary step in the process of innovation. His failures weren't evidence of his inadequacy. They were evidence of his persistence and commitment to his vision. This mindset is the key to turning failure into a stepping stone. When you fail, you don't lose. You gain. You gain experience. You gain wisdom. And you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and what it takes to succeed. You start to realize that failure is not a destination. It's simply part of the journey. Every great achievement in history was born from countless failures. Whether it's sports, business, or art, the most successful people are the ones who were willing to fail again and again until they found the path that worked. Take Michael Jordan, for example. We all know him as one of the greatest basketball players of all time, but how many of you know that he was cut from his high school basketball team? Michael Jordan, one of the most successful athletes in history, was told he wasn't good enough. But instead of letting that failure define him, he used it as fuel. He worked harder. He practiced longer. He believed that failure wasn't the end. It was just the beginning of his journey to greatness. And because he embraced failure, he went on to win 6 NBA championships and become an icon in the process. Psychologically, failure serves as feedback. It's not a reflection of your identity. It's a reflection of your current strategy. When you fail, it's simply telling you, this approach didn't work. Try another one. Every time you fail, you're learning more about what doesn't work. and you're getting one step closer to discovering what will work. The more you fail, the more you refine your process, your thinking, and your approach. The key is to not let failure stop you, but to use it to course correct, to get better, and to keep moving forward. What many people don't realize is that failure is actually an essential part of the success equation. Without it, you would never grow. Without failure, there would be no breakthroughs, no innovation, no learning, playing. You'd stay stuck in the same place, doing the same things, achieving the same mediocre results. It's the willingness to fail, to risk it all, and to learn from every misstep that separates the dreamers from the doers. So, how do you shift your mindset around failure? First, stop fearing it. See it for what it really is, a necessary part of the process. When you fail, don't beat yourself up. Don't let it define you. Instead, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What did I discover? How can I improve? Embrace the discomfort of failure. Lean into it. Recognize that failure is a sign that you're pushing the boundaries, that you're reaching for something bigger than where you are now. And most importantly, never give up. Remember, success doesn't come from avoiding failure. It comes from embracing it, learning from it, and using it as the fuel that propels you toward your greatest achievements. In the end, failure is not something to avoid. It's something to celebrate. Every time you fail, you are one step closer to the person you to become in order to achieve everything you desire. So, the next time you face failure, instead of seeing it as the end, see it as the beginning of something greater. Embrace it, learn from it, and keep moving forward. Because success is built on a foundation of failures that you didn't let defeat you. Discipline. It's a word that can sometimes feel like a weight, a restriction, a barrier between you and what you want. But let me flip the script for you. Discipline isn't the thing holding you back. It's the thing that sets you free. Yes, you heard that right. Discipline equals freedom. It might sound counterintuitive, but let me break it down for you in a way that will change how you see your potential. Take someone like David Goggins. This man has pushed himself beyond human limits. He's run ultramarathons, completed Navy SEAL training, twice endured unimaginable physical and mental challenges, and all the while, he has preached one key thing: discipline. Goggins didn't just become mentally and physically tough by wishing for it. He became who he is by committing to daily discipline, to doing what others were unwilling to do, to showing up when everything inside him wanted to quit. And through that discipline, he unlocked a level of freedom that most people can't even fathom. Here's why this works. Discipline is the ultimate form of self-mastery. It's the ability to control your actions, your time, and your habits. When you choose discipline, you choose to align your daily actions with your long-term vision, rather than giving in to distractions or temporary comfort. You're not just reacting to life, you're actively creating it, and the power of this is immense. When you're disciplined, you take back control of your life. You no longer let procrastination, fear, or the opinions of others dictate your path. You are the one steering the ship. Think about the successful people you admire most. How many of them achieved greatness without discipline? The answer is none. The story of Elon Musk. Musk doesn't just work 40 hours a week. He works 80 to 100-hour weeks, all because of his discipline. But here's the key. It's not about working harder for the sake of working harder. It's about intentional, focused effort. Musk chooses where his energy goes, and he does it consistently, day in and day out. That discipline has allowed him to create not just one, but multiple world-changing companies. Psychologically, discipline creates freedom by eliminating decision fatigue. Think about how many decisions you have to make every single day. What to wear, what to eat, when to exercise, what to work on. The constant barrage of small decisions drains your mental energy. But when you establish disciplined routines, you eliminate a lot of that noise. You know exactly what you're doing at every moment of the day because you've already decided. That consistency brings clarity, and clarity brings peace of mind. You no longer waste time figuring out your next move. You just do it. Take a look at athletes. They wake up at 4 a.m., follow strict training regimens, and make sacrifices that most of us can't imagine. But here's the thing. That discipline gives them the freedom to perform at the highest level when it counts. They've trained their bodies, minds, and habits so well that they don't have to think when it's game time. They simply execute. It's the same in life. When you have the discipline to do the work now, you give yourself the freedom to enjoy the results later. The paradox here is that the more you discipline yourself, the more freedom you create. Freedom from procrastination, from self-doubt, from living paycheck to paycheck. The freedom to chase your dreams, to invest in yourself, to spend time doing the things you love. The truth is, we all want freedom, but we think it comes from having no rules, no structure, no obligations. The reality is, the more structured and disciplined your life becomes, the more freedom you will experience because you've laid the foundation to make your dreams a reality. So I challenge you today. Where can you create more discipline in your life? Whether it's waking up earlier, sticking to a routine, or committing to your personal growth every single day, discipline is the key to unlocking the freedom you desire. Don't see it as a burden. See it as the doorway to the life you've always wanted. When you master discipline, you don't just get the freedom you've been chasing. You become the person who commands it. That's true power. Consistency is the secret ingredient that separates the dreamers from the achievers. It's not the bursts of motivation, not the sporadic efforts, not the times when you feel like everything is aligning perfectly. No, it's the relentless, unwavering commitment to showing up day after day, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the obstacles in front of you. Consistency is what turns small actions into massive results. It's the force that compounds over time, that builds momentum, that creates unstoppable momentum toward your goals. And if you truly want to succeed, if you truly want to reach your fullest potential, consistency is your most powerful tool. Look at the story of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He's one of the highest paid actors in the world, but do you think that happened overnight? Absolutely not. His success didn't come from a single lucky break. It came from a relentless commitment to showing up, doing the work, and staying consistent. Johnson wakes up at 4 a.m. every day, hits the gym, puts in hours of work, and stays disciplined with his goals. It's the same thing every single day. And mundane. It's that consistency that built his body, built his brand, and built his empire. And here's the most important part. The Rock doesn't do it for one day, 1 week, or 1 month. He's been doing it for years. That's the power of consistency. It doesn't just work in short bursts. It compounds, grows, and leads to long-term success. But it's not just about being consistent with your actions. It's about being consistent with your mindset, too. The biggest barrier to consistency is often the battle in your own mind. When things aren't going your way, when obstacles pop up, when you start to doubt yourself, that's when consistency becomes even more important. The ability to show up and keep doing the work, even when it feels like no one is watching, is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. Your mind will try to tell you to quit, to take a break, to give up on your goals when things get tough. But it's in those moments that you need to push harder, show up more, and stay true to the path. Let me tell you about a man named Jeff Bezos. Before Amazon became the giant it is today, Bezos spent years in his garage, working relentlessly on an idea that most people thought was ridiculous: selling books online. He faced criticism, failure, and doubt, but he didn't stop. He was consistent in his belief in himself, in his vision, and in the work he needed to do to make it happen. Every day, he showed up, regardless of the results. He kept going when others would have quit. That consistency over years and years turned into one of the most successful companies in history. Psychologically, the reason consistency works so powerfully is because it builds trust in yourself. Every time you do what you said you would do, even when it's hard, even when you're tired, you reinforce a belief in your own capability. You create a feedback loop where your confidence grows, your resilience grows, and your belief in your ability to achieve your goals strengthens. And that's how you create momentum. When you've been consistently doing the work, pushing through the challenges, and taking one step forward after another, it builds an unstoppable force. Here's the kicker. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to keep going. Keep moving forward, keep taking action, and keep showing up. The key is that consistency doesn't require perfection. It just requires persistence. The more you show up, the more you push through the tough times, the more success will come. So ask yourself, where can you become more consistent in your life? Consistency is the secret sauce, and when you master it, you'll see your life transform in ways you never thought possible. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't talent. It's consistency. Be relentless, be consistent, and watch how everything you want begins to unfold.